Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the eerie and fascinating world of America's most abandoned cities. We're talking ghost towns, empty streets, places lost to time, but with stories that still echo. Stick around because you won't believe what happened in these places, and the mysteries some of them still hold. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. We're constantly exploring the weird and wonderful, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. And here's a question for you. Have you ever visited an abandoned place? Let us know in the comments below. First up, we're headed to Centralia, Pennsylvania. Imagine a whole town turned into a modern-day Pompeii. This place was a bustling coal town, full of life, families, the whole deal. Then, in 1962, a fire started in the coal mines beneath the town, and it just kept burning. The fire spread through the vast network of mines, impossible to put out. Smoke billowed from cracks in the earth, the ground became unstable, and the air was thick with the smell of sulfur. People had to leave their homes, their entire lives behind. Today, Centralia is a ghost town, a chilling reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human existence. Streets are cracked and overgrown, houses abandoned, the air hazy. If you ever get the chance to visit Centralia, do it. Just be careful, the ground is still unstable in places. Next, we travel west to California to a town called Bodie. Now, Bodie is your classic gold rush boomtown turned ghost town. Picture this, the late 1800s, gold is discovered, and boom. Thousands of people descend on this remote corner of California, hoping to strike it rich. Saloons, hotels, even a red light district popped up overnight. Bodie was the Wild West in all its gritty glory. But gold, like all things, eventually runs out. By the early 20th century, the mines were drying up, and people started leaving Bodie just as quickly as they'd arrived. Today, Bodie is a state historic park, frozen in time. You can walk down the deserted streets, peek into the windows of abandoned buildings, and almost hear the echoes of the past. It's like stepping onto a movie set, except it's real. If you're ever in California, make the trip to Bodie. It's a humbling experience. From the Wild West, we head south to Cahaba, Alabama. This place has a story full of ambition, disaster, and ultimately, abandonment. See, Cahaba wasn't just any town. It was Alabama's first state capital. It was supposed to be grand, a symbol of the new state's bright future. They built a state house, a bustling port on the Alabama River, the whole 9 yards. But Cahaba had one major flaw, its location. It was built on a floodplain, right at the junction of two rivers. You can probably guess what happened next. Floods. Devastating floods that repeatedly ravaged the town. And if that wasn't bad enough, a yellow fever epidemic hit Cahaba hard. By 1872, after just a couple of decades as the capital, the government abandoned Cahaba and moved everything to Montgomery. Today, Cahaba is a ghost town reclaimed by nature. Walking through Cahaba is like stepping back in time. Chapter 4. Glenrio, Texas, New Mexico, stranded on Route 66. Let's hit the road and head to Glenrio, a town that straddles the Texas-New Mexico border. This place is a time capsule of America's love affair with the open road, a relic of the iconic Route 66. Back in the day, Route 66 was a road trip, and Glenrio was a popular stop for weary travelers. They'd pull in, gas up their cars, grab a bite to eat, and rest for the night before continuing their journey west. Glenrio had it all. Gas stations, motels, restaurants, even a motel shaped like a teepee. But then came the interstate system. Interstate 40 bypassed Glenrio, and just like that, the town was cut off from the lifeblood of Route 66 traffic. Businesses closed, people moved away, and Glenrio became a ghost town almost overnight. The old gas stations are still there, pumps rusted, signs faded, but still standing. If you ever find yourself driving down old Route 66, make a detour to Glenrio. Chapter 5, Thurmond, West Virginia, Ghosts of the Coal Era. We're heading east to Thurmond, West Virginia, a town nestled in the heart of the New River Gorge. Now, Thurmond was a classic company town, built around the booming coal industry of the early 20th century. It was a bustling hub, with trains rumbling through day and night, carrying coal to fuel the nation's growth. At its peak, Thurmond had a population of over 500 people, with a hotel, a bank, restaurants, and even a red light district. But as with many coal towns, Thurmond's fate was tied to the industry it served. As coal declined, so did Thurmond. The trains stopped running, the businesses closed, and the people moved on to find work elsewhere. Today, Thurmond is a ghost town, but not entirely abandoned. Chapter 6. Kennecott, Alaska. Copper and ghosts in the wilderness. Next, we're venturing north to the wilds of Alaska to a place called Kennecott. Now imagine a copper mining town, perched high in the mountains, surrounded by glaciers and wilderness. That's Kennecott. It was once a bustling center of copper production, one of the richest copper mines in the world. People flocked here from all over, enduring harsh conditions to work in the mines and build a life in this remote corner of Alaska. But copper, like all things, eventually runs out. By the 1930s, the easily accessible ore was gone, and the company that owned Kennecott decided to shut down the mine. Today, Kennecott is a National Historic Landmark, a testament to the boom and bust cycles of mining. Let's head back to the desert, to Rhyolite, Nevada, a town that rose and fell with the gold rush like a mirage in the desert. In the early 1900s, gold was discovered nearby, and Rhyolite sprang up almost overnight. People poured in, eager to strike it rich and build a life in this desolate but promising landscape. They built banks, hotels, a school, even an opera house. But the gold vein that fueled Rhyolite's boom was short-lived. By 1910, just a few years after it began, the gold started to run out. People left as quickly as they'd come, abandoning their homes and businesses in search of the next big strike. Today, Rhyolite is a popular tourist destination, a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of wealth. You can wander through the ruins of the old bank, its walls still standing tall despite the ravages of time. We're heading up into the Colorado Rockies to St. Elmo, a well-preserved ghost town that feels frozen in time. Now, St. Elmo was once a bustling silver mining town, high in the mountains. It had everything a miner could want: saloons, hotels, even a telegraph office to stay connected to the outside world. Life was tough, but it was good. Families put down roots, kids played in the streets, and for a while it seemed like St. Elmo would thrive. But then the silver started to run dry. And to make matters worse, the railroad, St. Elmo's lifeline to the outside world, decided to bypass the town. Just like that, St. Elmo's fate was sealed. People packed up and left, seeking their fortunes elsewhere. But unlike many ghost towns, St. Elmo didn't completely crumble back into the earth. Some hardy souls stayed behind, holding on to their properties, their memories. Thanks to their efforts, St. Elmo is one of Colorado's best-preserved ghost towns. Next, we're heading to Garnett, Montana. This place holds a special kind of magic for me. It's one of those ghost towns that truly makes you feel like you've stepped back in time. Tucked away in the Garnett Mountains, this former gold mining town is remarkably well preserved. Walking its wooden sidewalks past the old saloons and stores, you can practically hear the echoes of laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses. Garnett boomed in the late 1800s, a classic gold rush town full of prospectors, shopkeepers, and families hoping to strike it rich. But like so many gold rush towns, Garnett's boom was short-lived. By the early 1900s, the gold veins started to dry up and people drifted away to chase new opportunities. What's left behind is a haunting, beautiful collection of buildings, many still standing strong after all these years. The most striking thing about Garnett is the silence. And finally, we end our journey in Jerome, Arizona, a town perched precariously on the side of Cleopatra Hill. Now, Jerome has a reputation. They used to call it the wickedest town in the West, and for good reason. Back in its heyday, Jerome was a copper mining town, and it was wild. We're talking saloons, gambling dens, brothels, the whole 9 yards. But like all booms, Jerome's eventually went bust. The copper ran out, the mines closed, and the town that was once home to over 15,000 people dwindled to a few hundred. But Jerome didn't disappear. Instead, it reinvented itself. Artists and entrepreneurs saw the beauty in Jerome's rugged setting and its colorful past. Today, Jerome is a thriving arts community, a destination for those seeking a taste of the Wild West with a side of modern-day charm. So there you have it, 10 of America's most abandoned cities, each with its own unique story to tell. From ghost towns frozen in time to cities that found new life, these places are a reminder of the power of time, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring allure of the past. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's spread the love for these forgotten places and the stories they hold. Don't forget to leave a comment below about your experiences with abandoned places, and let us know which city you'd like to visit. And as always, subscribe for more fascinating content. See you in the next video.